My favourite part of the day is coffee. Yeah, my name's Simpson. I'm an illustrator, graphic designer, and I've been working in the industry for about 30 years. I started off in animation. I spent maybe 6 years working in an animation studio in Manchester. I worked on Danger Mouse and Duckula and some of the TV classics that were around at the time. I moved to Dublin in 1990 and I worked on Ninja Turtles. And I've been working in illustration, graphic design since about 1995. My work is much from probably a very traditional point of view. So if you go back to the 60s, sort of graphic designers in advertising would have been illustrators and hand letterers, and they would have even been photographers as well. They would have done pretty much the whole project themselves. I think today people are put into boxes more, everything's separated out, and many years ago I kind of discovered that as an illustrator, if you wanted more control over your work, then it was good to be a graphic designer as well. That way you could control how your work was positioned on a page. My usual day varies greatly. I mean, sometimes I'm working purely as an illustrator, and then some days putting together final artwork and sending it to print. I tend to only work on graphic design that involves my illustration, so I wouldn't take graphic design projects on that were just purely graphic design. One of the toughest things I think I did was finding a style. It was one of the things that played on my mind for a long time, and so when I switched from animation to illustration, I actually came into it without a style. Well, in fact, what I had was maybe 30, 40, 50 different styles, and none of those were mine. My online portfolio looked more like an agency. So my first few years in illustration, I was doing everything from extremely cartoony to graphic to even realistic illustrations. I was seen even then as a very adaptable illustrator, and I was quite happy with that because that was what I was used to. And I think when social media started taking off, it became apparent that I needed a single style. I needed my work to be recognized as my work. What I learned then was that for a client to look at my work, they would need to know pretty much what they were going to get. I don't know what I would do if I wasn't doing something creative with my hands.